Howdy and good morning from sunny El Paso, Texas. The sun's actually risen on this We Are Tottenham TV pump up for me, and it has risen yet again for Kate, Jim, and Jose from El Tel Cocorel. But first of all, Kate, how are you doing? Good morning. Thanks for having me back. Look, sorry I missed last week. My internet went out, and I would love to use the excuse I overslept, but I used that excuse too much in my lifetime. But how are you this morning? Afternoon for you, and how are you feeling heading into well, I was gonna say Ainge Day, but you know what, this is Chelsea versus Tottenham, and to me that's bigger, larger than any player, one manager, one player, anything like that. So first and foremost, shout out Tottenham Hotspur for playing today. So how are you?
Yeah, the sun's definitely not risen here. It's bloody freezing and it ain't stopped raining all day, but good to have you back, Jacob. It wasn't the same. Lots of people were asking where you were. He's back.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they were like, well, "Look at this! This is a great show. He's not here. What's going on?"
No,
Guess what? I'm back. Your nightmare has returned.
Talking of nightmares, I do actually feel like we are going to war today. So I have the usual butterflies because this is
You
the
give
game
kisses
I
to your
dread
loved
more
ones on the way out.
Yeah, exactly. I dread this game more than. See, look, why is the lesbian back? See, it's me they don't want, Jacob. It's
No, they're
you,
meaning me. I'm the lesbian, I'm pretty sure. But Jose, how are you doing today? How are you feeling today going into this? Everything copacetic with your end?
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back, Jacob. I always look forward to us playing, but today, for personal reasons, this is the game that we need to get 3 points in for me, regardless. Above all other games that we play ever, this is, for personal reasons, the one that I always want to win. So let's see the boys turn up today and give me what I want and grant my wish of 3 points today.
I love it. Jimbo,
morning,
talk
Jacob.
to me, brother. Why does it feel like we're heading to the principal's office or something? I feel like I'm about to go get a spanking, or I'm in trouble. I brought my stuffed animals out and everything. I got 2 little kangaroos, one big, one small. For however big your tears are, you can cry to the kangaroo. But Jimbo, I know your tears aren't large today. I know your cheers are going to be large today. So how are you feeling? How
let
are
me
you
say
looking,
first to that Martin, that lesbian's my wife. Don't be so disrespectful, you little man.
To be fair, I think he meant me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Jake. I'm not worried. We play well, we win. Play like we did again the other day, and we won't win. Simple as that.
Well, where are you at right now? Obviously, we just lost to Bournemouth. The hopes aren't very high. Chelsea's sitting in second, playing very good ball under Maresca. Some could say we were playing good ball at the beginning of our season last season too. Could this be a match where maybe we shock the world? Maybe we knock them down a few pegs and then we see them stumble? Because a lot of people come out of the gates hot. I think we set a little bit of a standard with new managers at the beginning of a season, and now he's continued that, 13 matches in at this point in the Premier League. So, I think hats off to the job that they're doing. They're a very good side, but is there any chance of an upset? I feel like everyone has this as a final conclusion, and anytime you got a hungry dog against the wall, you know what's going to happen? A dog going to take a bite out of you.
Yeah, well, was it a shock when we beat City?
Yes.
Well, a lot of people, yes.
Well, not to me, it wasn't. We beat City 4-0, so why can't we beat Chelsea? There's no reason why we can't. It all depends on us, Jacob. How we come out, how they come out, how much they want it. If they don't want it, we won't beat them. It's as simple as that.
Well, I just want to stick with you for a second, because what is it? What is it for you anyway? Because I feel like everyone's got a different reason why the players aren't up for it. Oh, they've given up on the manager. Oh, they don't understand the tactics. The players aren't good enough. It's all the players' fault. It's all Ainge's fault. It's all the board's fault. What for you anyway? And I'm asking you specifically, Jim. And I'm not trying to be like,
no, that's fine.
This is the third question straight at you, but I just, I'm kind of curious where everyone's at, because I know the temperature in the room. So I step out of the room. I go to my own room, and or make the temperature whatever I want it to be. And I feel like we're like-minded in that way. But I'm curious where you are. Who do you blame for Bournemouth? Who do you blame for the lack of results? Because Ainge just said, blame me. The consistency's on me. The lack of results is on me.
I think he made some mistakes that game, Jacob. Look, I think he put BJ out on the left. He shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
He had Kulu out on the right. He didn't need to do that. He could have had BJ out there. He could have had Son out on the left and Kulu through the middle. So he made mistakes. You know, they look disjointed to me. I don't think it was all because everyone was saying there was a lack of effort. I think they did try, but they just couldn't get it together. So I just think that from the beginning we were set up to lose. The way it was all set up. So let's just hope he gets it right today. It was disappointing, I think, and the subs as well. I think he made bad subs. So look, I'm not putting it all on Ainge. Don't think I'm putting it all on Ainge. I'm just saying it was an accumulation of things, I think.
Okay. I appreciate your honesty. I mean, I feel like right now it's a really weird crossroads we're at as a club, the fans. Obviously, the abuse hurled at Ainge Postecoglou post-match by the away fans versus Bournemouth occurred. Ainge was saying, I'm going to pull up closer. And I like that attitude. I'm the same way. You got something to say, I'll make sure I hear you loud and clear. And, I was pretty disappointed, to be honest, with what I saw. But it really seems as though things are turning sour. And it's quite unfortunate for me to see, if I'm honest. Kate, where do you stand with everything? And obviously, we have a game today. Does this overshadow what's happening today? I mean, this is a London derby. To me, it shouldn't. I care more about Chelsea, but, I'll be honest. I log into the StreamYard. I see the first 10 comments are all talking Ainge this, Ainge that. Regardless of Ainge left, right, middle, center, up, down, left, around, put your foot in a circle, do the hokey pokey, whatever the song goes. Regardless, however you feel about Ainge, we have a game today, and he's our manager. It's the same way I feel, in regards to Timo, Matt Doherty throughout the years, Eric Dyer, Serge Aurier. We could keep going down the list, but at the end of the day, when you're my clubs, I want you to win. And we've got a game today. So where are you kind of at with it all? Do you think that, he should have been sacked before this game? This game's going to determine his sacking. That's also another, a lot of a talking point as well this week.
Look, I had a bit of a mini meltdown, I think we'd call it, after the game on Thursday. It literally did break me. I was at a stage I just didn't know what to do, what to say, where to go, where to look. But I had a couple of days to think about it, and I put a video out yesterday basically saying that I just don't see the value in sacking Ange Postecoglou, because all that's going to happen is we'll have Ryan Mason to the end of the season, which for me is a far worse option than Ange Postecoglou. Plus, it took Arteta, and I know all the Ange outers will say, don't compare it to Arteta, but it took Arteta a good 3 seasons before he got Arsenal playing the way he wanted them to play. And Ange has only played 18 months, only had us for 18 months. I think he's got to take some of the blame for sometimes making substitutions too late or playing the wrong players in the wrong positions. I think the players have got to take a share of the blame, because I don't care who the manager is. You're paid millions of pounds. You should be up for every game and putting in 100%. And they weren't against Bournemouth. And I think the board have got the biggest share of the blame, because we've seen it 1,000 times. All these wonderful managers we've had, Conte, Mourinho, Nuno, look, flying with Nottingham Forest, Pochettino, AVB, Redknapp, Yol, all fantastic managers, and all that go on to do better things. They can't all be crap. There's got to be sort of something that links them together, and that thing is Daniel Levy. But while Ange is here, I understand if you're going to boo. They travelled a long way to Bournemouth, but I mean, that abuse was unacceptable. But what this team needs now more than anything is the fans to get behind them. And for me, I've never seen this fan base so fractured as it is at this moment in time, which is sad.
Well, it's very, very sad, but it's almost sad like the kid has spilt milk on themselves, but not only on themselves, but also on the floor. And then they slipped on the milk, and then they're mad at me about the spilt milk. I'm sorry. I didn't do that. That's all you, my
Yeah.
G. And it's I feel like a little bit of our own doing. To me, it just seems like a little bit of rinse repeat. I know the old nomenclature. It's just, to me, it's 18 months and let's fuck around, and then 18 months and let's fuck around, and it's the same repeat over and over and over. That's really driving me insane. So again, I actually like Ainge.
Guys,
I like the tactics.
the lineups are out. You are going to be ultra shocked. I'm just telling you that now.
Did they just come out? Let me see.
This
I have
is
been
absolutely-
refreshing, and it's been.
Oh no! Wait till you see the lineups.
Oh my God!
It's just mental. Don't wait till you see them. It's madness.
I'm not.
Forster,
Bobby
Pedro
Cage,
Porro,
never-
Romero, Van de Veen, the Destiny. So, I mean, hang on. So
I'll
this
send
is
it
like
back
our
to
strongest lineup.
What's happened?
I must have missed the program. I don't know what I've missed. I missed the program.
Excuse me.
Oh, he's been holding
Um,
back. He's been holding back about Van der Ven and not saying the
Go on,
truth.
Ange. Good.
I
This
can
is
see the-
this is the sort of thing that I wanted to see from Ange. I don't
I
want
can
him
see
to be
some
Mr.
people
Nice Guy.
smiling.
I want him to hide things and then smack it in Chelsea's face. Yeah, bitches. Our best two centre backs are back, and now they've got to deal with that. Jacob's having a meltdown. What's Jacob? What are you thinking?
I'm just.
I can see some smiles.
I've been like, bro, Ben Davies got hurt. We've only got Dragusin left. He's our only center. So I was mentally preparing for Dragusin Archie Gray center back partnership. I'll be really honest.
Wow.
I feel better inside. I feel like the sun is even brighter. Does my screen look brighter? Did the sun start shining more? Let me read out the. Let me. So Jose, I'll be honest. When you started like you're gonna lose it. Oh, when the lineup comes out, you're gonna. I was like, oh God, no. I started thinking Will Lancashire, Olasesi.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh my
No,
God.
I said you're gonna. I said, oh my God, you're gonna be surprised.
I know. I was like,
what I said.
okay, we're starting an academy or something. Where are we at? I'm so in the gutter. Just keep kicking me. I guess is kind of how I felt. But the starting lineup. Look, Vicario is the only name you could really, maybe Madison if you wanted to change up the midfield. But Madison or Bentancur. But for me, I would say this much: Fraser Forster's in goal, Pedro Porro at the right back, Kuti, Romero, and Van de Veen return to the old comfortable spot on the sofa. Destiny on the left, Basuma, Sar, and Kulusevski looks like it's going to be the midfield. For me, I kind of was hoping for Sar and Basuma to kind of be the two midfielders behind Kulusevski. That's what I was hoping for, even if we had Ben Davies and Dragusin, because we'll talk about it. But Brendan Johnson on the right, Dominic Solanke through the middle, and our Capitano Heung-min Son. On the bench, we have Brandon Austin, Jed Spence, Dragusin, Sergio Reguilon makes the bench yet again, by the way, and Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall, James Madison, Timo Werner, and Will Lancashire. So, I mean, this is a better lineup than I thought I was going to be seeing this morning. Initial thoughts, anyone?
Let me say the thing with Postecoglou, right? He doesn't take chances with injuries. We've seen this time and time again. So Van der Ven must be fit. He doesn't take chances. If they get a bad knock or a head injury that's not even too bad, he takes them off the pitch. He's pretty strict with that. He said their health is more important.
Him, but needs must at times. Needs must. We didn't.
Yeah, but he could have put Dragusin in there, Kate. So I think the Van der Ven must be okay.
True.
So for me, initially when he got injured on Premiership injuries, it said that his return date was going to be the 2nd of December. And today's the 8th. So they reckon that his earliest date would have been for last week. Last week's game rather than the midweek. Last weekend, midweek, he's missed both of them games and he's back for today. So there could be some thought behind it that he actually has come back fit and has been left for another week to today. But
Yeah.
I for one, in all my thoughts, the whole of since Thursday as well, I did not have Van der Ven in my team for today. I thought
Yeah.
Romero might have had a chance for today, but I never had Van der Ven. But to see both of them there, it brings, well, I'm happier to see both of them there, in all honesty. Especially after we've lost Ben Davis as well.
Yeah.
To
I'll
injury,
be
unfortunately.
honest. I don't even know if there's a word that I feel comfortable using on Weird Tottenham TV to describe the way that I feel. Feeling, seeing,
Moist.
knowing that our center backs, right? I'm telling you, where I was at mentally with Dragusin and Archie Gray as our center backs going versus Chelsea, whom's attackers you could just rinse and rotate and switch and change whatever combination to the lock you want. But they've got a whole bunch of different attempts. Because obviously they have a very strong 11 themselves, and there's a lot of their attackers that I actually rate. You know, and Kunku's a great player that I thought coming out of Leipzig was going to make a difference for them, and when he's been healthy and when he's been playing, he's actually been a little bit decent. But let's look at Chelsea's lineup as well. So I'm going to start at their front lineup because this is what I'm most curious about. They start Pedro Neto, Nicholas Jackson through the middle, and Jadon Sancho on the left. And that 10 position will be Cole Palmer, Romeo Lavia, and Enzo Fernandez will round out their midfield backline of right back of Moise Caicedo. Badiashile and Levi Colwell will be the center back partnership, and Cucurella on the left, and Sanchez is their goalkeeper today. Look, Moise Caicedo on the right for me is something that I've been hearing a lot of Chelsea fans say. When I did a preview yesterday on my channel, they said they believe Caicedo is going to start at the right back, and they like to invert their fullbacks as well. But no one says anything about that. But hey, you know, a flirting versus harassment, I suppose. Because when Ainge's fullbacks invert, oh, good heavens, this is the only man I've ever known to do something like this. But looking at their lineup, I would say this is more or less their strongest lineup. Kate, what would you say? Is there any other players that you're like, I'm glad they're not playing? For me, it's Nkunku, but he did start on Thursday or Wednesday, whenever it was that they played. They did play a day before us, so they had one more day of rest. However, they were heavily rotated. So the likes of Lavia, Nicholas Jackson, they didn't play at all. They didn't see the field not once, and then some of the other players did rotate. So, look, there's a few things I wanted to talk about with them and with us, but your initial thoughts right now, Kate, is there anyone on there that you're extremely afraid of or you're glad that's not in there?
First of all, I've just got to say the meltdowns about the starting lineup is hilarious because everyone's saying they're not fit, and this is just typical Ange to play two players because Romero hasn't trained for 2 weeks and Van der Ven's not fit. So this is what makes me laugh. The meltdown started already. Look.
Oh, sorry, what's that? Wah, it's the sirens. Wah, wah. Oh, well, sound the alarm, officer. We've got some wah wah.
Yeah,
cry
exactly.
more is what I gotta say. Cry more, because if this is the last dance, if we're supposed to go into the sunset, no Ainge or with Ainge, you gotta put it all on the line. I don't give a damn if they're healthy or not. Play them. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I am in a mood today.
Yeah. Look, Nicholas Jackson, I think he's received more through balls in the Premier League than anyone apart from Erling Haaland. He worries me. I think he's playing really well and linking up with Palmer. But they're as open as we are. I mean, down the left-hand side, they have real issues down that left-hand side, so we can really get at them. But what we've got to be careful of is when we're pressing, that we press tight and we don't lose the ball, and we've got to track Fernandez because he's so good at coming from the back to the front, and if he gets in sort of an attacking position, he's really dangerous. So look, they've got a really good team. The one player that I think in their team is their massive weak link is their goalkeeper. So we want to be testing him quite a lot because I think he's shaky. But apart from that, I think Caicedo's playing fantastic in the minute. Neto's playing brilliant. They're all good players. It's going to be for a neutral. I think this is going to be a fantastic game of football.
Well, I don't know this for a fact, so someone please pull me up on this. But I was told yesterday by Chelsea fans that the partnership in their center back of Badiashile and Levi Colwell has not played a game together. So there
Yeah, I think
is
that's
also another entry into the bank vault, so to speak. Jose, how are you feeling about their lineup? Because for me, something that I've learned from my words, if you remember, I very famously said on this program specifically when we played Aston Villa, who is Morgan Rogers? What kind of sweater will Mr. Rogers wear today? And he was a fantastic player versus us. And then it was like versus Ipswich, so that's a win. But then versus Ipswich in a loss, Amari Hutchinson had that. Sorry about the fireworks, but Amari Hutchinson grabbed the ball, would drift centrally from the right, and there was always that oodles of space. So I started understanding. It seems like the number 10s versus us, they're going to have a lot of room to roam there in the Central Park. So, where do you are you afraid of Cole Palmer? No one's talked about Cole Palmer yet, and for me, he's a strength that they haven't really relied on much this year. So at any moment for me, he could just be like dynamite and go off. Are you at all concerned about him and how much space we give up to the number 10s, or are you seeing kind of what Kate's seeing? There's areas to exploit, down their left-hand side, and potentially with that center back partnership as well.
When you say their left-hand side, do you mean their right with Cucurella and Badashili?
Yeah, sorry.
So our right, their left, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Stage right, if you will.
Because from all the Chelsea boys I know, they tell me how rubbish. This is their words, not mine. So I'm not making. They tell me how crap, rubbish, Disasi. They call him Disaster rather than Disasi, and Badiashile, that they're really, really poor. So the fact Disasi's been taken out from the right back position because he's the replacement usually for. Well, mind you, Malagusto's played there as well, but Reece James is normally would have been the first choice right back. So
they brought Gusto in to replace James because he's never healthy, and
well,
there you go.
Gusto's on the bench.
Shout
as
out
well.
French Montana.
I think Gusto's on the bench as well, and so is Disasi or Disaster. And the fact they're playing Badiashile there, I'm quite surprised because they got Levi Colville on the bench, and I thought he would have been a better starter for them. So. To me, the area.
What do you wait? Did I hear you right, or did you say Levi Colwell on the bench? It says that he's on the 11.
He's starting.
Sorry, Levi Colwell starting. Sorry, who's the other one that I'm looking at? The other centre half. Oh no,
it's Badiashile and Colwell in the center half.
Fofana's missing. Sorry, it's Fofana's missing.
Fofana's out.
Yeah, he's hurt. Yeah, Fofana's hurt.
Yeah, so therefore, to me, the place, looking at the lineups, and football was never ever played on paper, but looking at the lineups. The place to get at Chelsea would be Casado playing and Badiashile getting down on that side would be the place that I'd say. Listen, they've got good players, Chelsea, but I maintain this again. Every team in the Premiership has good players. It's not just Chelsea. Everyone has good players, and you've got to play who's put in front of you. I'm more confident playing at home than I am away at present, and I have been for a while because. We seem to
results.
Our performance are better, and our performance have been better at home. Although, that being said, we only drew 1-1 with Fulham last week, and people are going to remember that. Yeah, people are going to remember.
Jose, I got the Arsenal game on, and it's Arsenal 1, Fulham 1, and Fulham should be winning this game. So no, that's what the Premiership is, though.
Yeah, all I'm saying though, Jim, I'm not disagreeing. All I'm saying is that for the season, we've done really well at home, but our recent memory is going to be the last game we played. And the last game we played at home was against Fulham. So that's what's going to be on people's minds, do you know what I mean? But
for me, Ipswich is still on my mind. I don't know why. I just can't. Ed Sheeran, and he's all like, something singing about a parking lot or whatever his songs. I don't listen to Ed Sheeran personally, but, anyway. You're saying what they think about at home, an embarrassing home result. To me, the Ipswich result is more embarrassing. Fulham, I actually think Fulham are a good side. Their manager has had them well managed the last 2.5 years since he's been there now, and last year they got 6 points on us. So I'm not like, oh no, a draw at home versus Fulham. They're a good team. It's Ipswich. I'm like, bro, you just came up, and your whole deal is Ed Sheeran and tractors. And we couldn't beat you at home. That's what I'm still upset about, but maybe I need to move on.
So as I was saying, so every team you play against is going to have good players, and we just have to. We would have worked during the week. We would have worked on strengths and weaknesses for Chelsea, and it's about exploiting them. And the one thing I will say is the important part today will be the crowd, because apart from me and my personal reasons, I also think the crowd will be really up for today's game. The same as they are up for the Arsenal game, I think they'll equally be up for the Chelsea game today. And I think the fans will become important today as well. Cole Palmer is a good
Well,
player.
you think they're gonna say "Boo, you fat"? See you next Tuesday to Ainge while we're playing today, or they're gonna save that for full time?
I would like to say they're not going to be saying that today at all.
I pray.
That's what I'm going to say. They're not. I'm looking at. They're not going to say that at all today, and therefore that means we've come out with a good performance for that not to happen.
Well, you know, it is a results-based business. However, even at your own job, all those people who are yelling at Ainge, when you suck that week, does your boss hurl abuse at you? No, he just applies a little pressure. I think criticism, pressure, reviewing performance is all fine and dandy. It's when you cross that line from, you know, constructive criticism to hurling abuse. And I think you should have your head checked, or maybe your mouth needs a slapping. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. But I'm looking at their bench, Jim, for Chelsea. Nani Madueke. Oh, years ago, what a name I thought would be in the lights for us and Lily White. And he went to PSV Eindhoven, had himself a little, and a lot of Chelsea fans were saying, hey, how do you feel whenever your proper little Spurs boy goes and scores the game winner versus you? Well, I mean, they didn't say game winner. They think they're going to win 6-1, 5-1, 6-0. These are the predictions they gave me. So, Jimbo, do you think that there's any way this is a result that we haven't seen at all this year? Because people are like, oh, we're going to lose 4-1 or 4-0. They say that about every team that we go against. And I can't remember the last time we lost by that much.
Well, we in any game we've lost, it's only been by a single goal. Even when we played absolutely diabolically bad, we've only lost by a single goal. So, I mean, we
So,
couldn't play.
no, Jim, they said the sky's falling. They said invest in iron umbrellas.
The score lines we got against Man City, people saying we were going to lose by, were ridiculous, you know. And I can see some people in the chat saying about Angie's a fraud, get him out of the club, and we're going to get slaughtered. And you know, look, at the end of the day, Tottenham don't get beat by a lot. We've shown that. You know, even when they play bad, they put up a game. So let's see. Let's see. I think we'll win today.
Every game we've been beaten, if I'm right, every game we've been beaten in the league has been by one goal.
By one goal.
Correct.
Even when we played diabolically bad. Even when we played diabolically bad.
Interesting that. No, they said 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Well, you know,
it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game. I mean, Chelsea are playing well. Let's give them credit where it's due. They've got their self together. But at the end of the day, they should have done. They spent £1 billion and they've got like 522 players to pick from. So they should be able to put a team out.
I agree. I saw a comment earlier. I'm trying to not read too much of the chat because there's a whole bunch of wah-wah in it, and there's a lot of not wah-wah in it. So big up to everyone, whether you feel left, you feel right, you feel hokey pokey, or you feel all right. Big up to you. Make sure you are hitting a like on the video. Whether you agree with my opinions or not, liking the video does nothing for me. So you're not helping me by liking the video. You're just helping WeAreTottenham TV. So why not? It has nothing to do with me other than, you know, the fun business. But look,
I mean, there was one guy in the chat. There's one guy.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
Al, I think his name was Al. He said we should have played Davis. I don't know if he realises, but Davis is injured. He's got a hamstring. So it wouldn't be very wise to play him.
Me personally, I would have played Harry Kane, but you know what can we do? We got to go with who Andrew's picked.
Well, if we're playing this game, I've been watching a lot of Ginola highlights, and I'll tell you what, we could use one of them on the wing.
Yes, sure.
Let's speak about the front line here for a second, though. Kate, I want to go to you here. Look, Brennan Johnson, Dominic Solanke, and even Youngman Son, for me, they've all come under fire and under a little bit of ometer is something I'm working on. It's my And Youngman Son, is my favorite player. I've loved him for many years, and I will continue to love him for many years. However, versus Roma, my love, I'll be honest. If Timo Werner was the one that skied it over the goal like that, everyone would be screaming. I'd be screaming. I can't speak for everyone, but for me, I will be screaming. And he missed that, and it was just like, And it's not the first time. And then he did it again at the weekend, and he came off the bench and scored an offside goal. And then after that, I think his next 6 touches were like giveaways or bad passes or just bad first touch. Is just not great from the captain. And I hold him to a very high standard. And whether I hold Heung-min Son to this standard, Solanke to this standard, or Brennan Johnson to this standard, point of the matter is they got to finish their goals. Mm-hmm. Do you think they will finish their goals? Do you think it's been a problem in the fact that, they haven't, or have we not been doing enough for them?
Look, I think the goals are coming. It's not like we're not scoring goals. We were top of the goal scorers.
No, but I told we're bozo naive in the front. We don't score goals, even though before last Premier League week we're the leading scorers. But I was told no.
3 or 4. We're still in the top 3 or 4.
The thing is, when we had Harry Kane, everyone screamed that we just depend on Harry Kane too much. Then it was we depend on Son too much. Now everyone's scoring, and people are still bloody moaning. Solanke, he might not be scoring loads at the minute, but he applies more pressure than any other Premier League player. That is a statistical fact. Facts don't care about feelings, and that is a fact. Spurs also lead the way, winning possession inside the final third. That's also a fact.
But my feelings said that no, I didn't like it.
They don't care about your feelings, these facts.
Oh, spoiler alert, huh?
Maresca likes to play out from the back as well. So Spurs have got to be ready to pounce if they hold on to the ball too long. And that's the ins and outs of it. I've got full faith in Solanke that he will come good. He might not have scored as many goals as people would like, but what he brings to the team is far more. Johnson is super quick. Kulu, the powerful bursts of energy and the runs that he does makes him almost impossible to track at times. Even Timo Werner and Sonny, they've still got plenty of speed. So, I think even though I haven't got any goggles on, I watch every game. I do know how we've been playing. Even though I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, but Kay, I'm not happy about last result. So how could you dare say that we were good at any moment?
I literally, this is because I'm getting old. I literally can't even remember. Oh, I was going to say, Chelsea,
it happens to me. It's not age. Trust me. It happens to me too.
Oh, I think with me, it is age. But it's going to be a wide open game. Look, I was predicting us to lose. I'm not going to lie, but I feel a lot more confident after seeing this lineup. And I think even though Chelsea at the moment are in far better form than we are, the way they play is going to play right into our hands because we like to play against teams that are open rather than low blocks. And I think they will be wide open today. So I'm feeling better than I was about this game.
Hey, I'll be honest. I'll take a 80% fit Kuti, 80% fit Van de Veen over a Archie Gray Dragusin partnership. I'll be honest. That's just me. DB man, are you happy? How's it's going? Really? Well, it's going great, but bro, I'm blessed in life, so of course I'm a happy man. I don't know what you mean by that, but look. Again, shout out everyone in the chat. Whether you think this is a train wreck or you think this is paradise, it really doesn't matter because we are fans and we are allowed to have our opinions. So I would just say, keep it nice because I feel like Spurs fans are always at each other. And at the end of the day, if we win versus Chelsea, whether you thought this or thought that, does it really matter? No, your team won. So let's just break some bread, share some love. And I've been ending a lot of shows by saying, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Because it really doesn't cost much to do that. Whether you think my opinion is shit or not, whether I think your opinion is shit or not, it really doesn't matter because at the end of the day, you don't know me and I don't know you. We just love Tottenham, right? So let's all just root the boys on because again, I started the show off by being like, I don't want to focus too much on the ever looming shadow of what is the temperature around because we have a game, but I don't know. I just really, really hope for everybody's sake that we can go and get 3 points today because if we, and again, when this week talking about why I think we could or why we might, it's just there's not a whole lot of substance other than the center back partnerships. They've never really played together. Moise Caicedo is going to be an inverting on the side that, Son and Destiny are going to be playing down. And if they can get anything going offensively, there might be holes to exploit there. And honestly, my fears are everyone's got their fears about how the game's going to go and what player's going to do this. But, at the end of the day, again, get that 3 points. I think everyone drinks a little bit of tea, a little bit of warm milk at night. I don't drink warm milk at night, but I heard that's supposed to be like soothing. But, you drink some warm milk, some tea, everyone chill out a little bit. And then remember, hey, I want to put it in a little perspective, and then I want to start really getting into our predictions and the nitty gritty here. Because at the beginning of the season, a lot of people said, what would you take this year? And I feel like on average, and I'm not speaking for everybody, but on average from what I observed was that people were okay with a 10th place finish and a domestic cup or a European cup. 10th place, European cup. Well, I'll tell you this. We're in position to do just that with the finish, and we're still in 3 cup competitions. So, some will say 4. I'm going to say 3. But, yeah, however you roll the dice, I feel like, is it too soon to get all up in arms whether this result, is this a must-win, I guess is a good way to tie it into this game. Is this a must-win or a must-get-a-draw, a you cannot lose today, or, the manager must go? For me, I'm not there yet. I've never really been there yet. I see that the fan base might be, and at the end of the day, I'm just a passenger on the Titanic, and it looks like we're going down.
Well, do you want me to start? I'll start. Look,
anybody? I don't know.
Jacob, you got to look at the league, right? And you got to look at the teams that are beating who, and it's such a hard league, right? If we lose to Chelsea today, what do? Scream, shout, cry, sack the manager. They're a good team. They're second in the league. So it's a game we want to win, but for me, it's not a must-win game. If we don't win it, it's hands out. Look, he's been there one season and a third of a season. What we're going to do is sack him, and who are we going to bring in? Start again. Let the guy go to the end of the season and see where it takes us. He could win us 2 trophies. We're still in 3 trophies. He could win us 2 of them. Let's just see where this guy can take us. They scream they don't like Conte ball because everyone sits back behind it. Then we get some free-flowing football going, right? And then they cry they don't want that. We should tighten up more. I don't just let the guy do his job. He will get it right if he's left alone to get it right. For me, it's not a must-win game. I want to win it. Of course, I want to win it. But it's not. If he doesn't win today, people shouldn't be screaming for him to be sacked.
I think someone hit it perfectly on the head, hit the nail on the head, and said this is a must show up game. I think that's the thing. We lost to Chelsea and we went down to 9 men and Ange played the high line, those players got cheered off the pitch because they showed heart from minute 1 to the end of that game. And that's what we want to see. If we lose, let's lose, but let's fight. The other day we lost and we were pathetic, but we have got to show up for this game. I've never seen the chat so toxic in here as it is today. People take.
Well, James, you know what?
There's great games in there, and he just said it's how you play. And you're right, James. We need to show up today, and if we lose by the odd goal, well, we give it a real good go, and then
exactly. Can't ask for more.
I do agree, and I don't like the notion that it's like, oh, we're losing better. What great winning mentality! But I would say in regards to winning mentality, those same people wanted to lose versus City last year. So is that winning mentality, or is that going out there to lose because situationally it suits your emotions better? I don't know. Someone clarify for me. But also the idea of talking on a talk show. Heaven forbid I do what Ben and Sim asked me to do, and that's talk on a pre-match pump-up show. Which again, just a reminder, you're tuned in. You tuned in. They asked me to be here. You don't like it, you don't have to be here. It's that simple. And really, that it's that beautiful, right? Like, if you don't like Ainge, you can have your opinion, and you don't even have to watch if you don't want to. For me, I don't really give a damn about a manager's this or that, a player's this or that. I'm going to watch my team play, and I'm not going to sit there and cry that the sky's falling because things aren't going my way and throw my toys out with the baby with the bath water? I've heard that a few times from people in the UK. There you go. Because don't throw the baby out. Well, who's throwing babies out with bathwater? That's a crazy saying. Anyway, Jose, talk to me about your predictions. Son's babies being thrown out of the window with the bathwater. Where's our hope coming from? How do you see this playing out? And then, we've got 15 minutes left in the show, so I would say even end off with maybe your score prediction, but don't rush there, my friend.
Like I said earlier, anyone you play in the Premiership now, it's a difficult game. I said before the start of the season, I felt the Premiership was going to condense. It has done so. I think it will continue to do so. People are picking up points. People are dropping points. There is no consistency out there with, all by maybe 2 to 3 teams. There's no consistency out there. We happen to be one of them at the moment that's inconsistent. And at the end of the day, you're just playing against 11 men again. It's 11 men for us today against their 11 men, and whatever substitutions they make, and whatever substitutions we make. And to me, I made a prediction on Friday, and I said I'll never ever back against my team, which I won't do. But this game today is personal to me, and I'm going to be honest. On seeing
what makes it personal for you? If you don't want to share, it's fine.
No, I can. I grew up in a Chelsea area, and I grew up in an area where back in the 70s. So I was born in the 60s, but in the 70s, there was a right wing group with the initials NF, and Chelsea had a big contingent of these people from the right wing group in their fan base. And my parents obviously came over from Spain, so we were foreigners to these people, and we copped it, and everyone would cop it. Anyone that was foreign nationals would cop it, and from there found that it was a disgusting fan base. And I grew up in an area, like I said, it was still Chelsea, and I decided I was going to support Tottenham Hotspur, and I did cop it for supporting Tottenham Hotspur. Still do today, to be honest. When I run into Chelsea people all the time, but I don't give a flying wasp in a whirlwind. And for me, so my despise of that club is back to the 70s, and for them reasons. And it's not since Abramovich came and stuff like that, because back then it was just their fan base, because Chelsea were in the second and third divisions. They weren't even challenging Tottenham on the football front. It was just their supporters and their mentality, and totally been against it ever since. And so therefore, it sticks long in the memory what I had to put up with, and what my family had to put up with, and therefore that's the team I despise the most. And that's why I always want today to be a victory against them.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say this, Jose. I'm a visual person, so when you're recounting your tales of misfortune, it's not even misfortune, it's just shitty people, right? That's unfortunate, and that really, sucks that you had to go through that. So I understand why this is personal, and I like that. So I hope even more that we get this result for you and for people like you who've gone through things like you, from fans like those fans, because it's time that you slap the bully in the mouth. I know historically this fixture ain't been kind to us. I know whether we've been good, they've been shit, they still step on us. Whether they've been good and we've been shit, they step on us. Whether they're going to something or they're standing still, they're stepping on us. So, I mean, I've seen that since I've been a fan. So I'm accustomed to Chelsea matches being not good. And I'll tell you what, I just every time think there's got to be something that really just get us over that line. And I'm really wondering if, look, Ainge copped a lot of verbal flack that he went and wanted to get more of. He said, Papa, put it more on me. And I like that. I'm the same type of, shout out Ainge Postecoglou, my manager, my gaffer. And your gaffer, even if you don't like him, you have to hold that. But they say, oh, poor Jed Spence, he's getting so mistreated by Ainge, and he was the only player over there who looked like he had his back versus the fans. So to me, I'm wondering if this little bit of this little bit of they hate me type of thing, now y'all go put it on the line, if that could be that little bit of extra 5% that we need to really get over the line. And to address a comment I saw earlier from Checkboard or Chessboard, whatever your name is, said, we never win anything. Every game's a must win. That's why we never win anything. I'll tell you this, your opinion about anything doesn't dictate what Tottenham does. My opinion about anything doesn't dictate what Tottenham does. So we are far more insignificant than you think. However, I will say this: what's not insignificant was, I think, that the message getting through. It was very significantly gotten through. Ainge even mentioned in the post-match presser, I thought he was referring to the players, had some feedback for him, but he was referring to the fans, obviously, with the videos that came out. So I'm a little bit wondering, Jimbo, you let me know what you think. Could this be that little bit of that 5-10 extra percent that the players need to say, hey, even the fans are turning on this guy. Either we go put it out there on the line for him, or do you think this is more of an opportunity for them to be little turtles inside of their shell and afraid of the pressure of all the things that Antonio Conte said? You know, these players, the pressure, they don't want to play.
Jim, you're on mute, darling.
Yeah. I was like, am I lagging or is he on me? I don't know. My internet's been kind of spotty this whole time.
As soon as they put this shirt on, they should want to turn up. They should want to do it for the manager, but they should want to do it for the fans as well, and they should want to do it for their self-respect. You know, they're getting paid a lot of money to take our club somewhere, so they should put everything in it. You know, and sometimes I watch a game and people say they're not trying. I think they were trying in some of the games, but just couldn't string it together. You know, when you look at some of the draws, if they weren't trying, we would have lost. You know, and against Bournemouth, they just looked so disjointed. I don't think it was that they wanted to just go out there and stroll around. They were, you know, trying. But look, if they believe in this manager, then they've got to go and play for this manager. And I think that they do believe in this manager. You know, I think that to me, I haven't seen a performance where they're not playing for the manager. I've just seen some bad performances where they've not been on it. So they should go out there today, and because we've had a few bad results since the City game, you know, 2 draws and a loss. So they should go out there today to show us and to show Ange, but mainly us, to show us the fans that they care. There's people that go to the games. I mean, me and Kate go to some games. Jose goes to some games. It costs a lot of money, but you've got people that are going up to places like Bournemouth, right? One guy, I heard him on the radio. He paid £250. He had to get a hotel because there was no transport back. So it cost him a lot of money. So they should be putting the effort in to show these guys, look, you're spending your hard-earned wages. You know, we're going to show you something for that money.
I agree. But I would also agree with the notion that no amount of money spent dictates hurling abuse at another human being. That's just my opinion, though. However, I mean, don't hurl abuse at me for saying don't hurl abuse. But hey, what do they say? The horse keeper is always covered in horse shit anyway. So, Kate, let me go to you and ask you, as we have 8 minutes left, 7 and 20, 18, 19, it's 15 seconds. What's the scoreline going to be? Who's going to score these goals? And you know, I'm starting with you for a specific reason, don't you?
Well, yeah, but I've become renowned to being a bit of a flip flop, and I kind of like owning that.
Hell yeah! Hey, who cares?
Exactly.
Flip flops are great. They help the toes breathe, because if you're always containing the toes and you're a moist man like myself, you can build up like what they call fun guy, and it's not very fun for the guy who's got the fun guy, if you know what I mean. So you got to let the toes out, let them breathe. Flip flops ain't nothing wrong with it.
No, well, I originally, not knowing that our 2 centre backs were coming back, had predicted a Tottenham 2, Chelsea 5 result.
Oh my!
I'm wiping that away. And I am going to do Tottenham 2, Chelsea 2. I can't do the win, but
2-2. 2-2.
So I'll go for a Desmond, yes.
I'll take it. 2-2. I'll take it. We're done. That's it. We're done. 2-2. We took it. We're good. What?
And I think the scorers will be Brennan Johnson and Solanke.
Ooh. I need Son to score, so maybe we can get that elusive 3-2. But Jim, I'm gonna go with you next, and Jose, I'm gonna save you for last, actually, or before me, because normally I like to save Jim for last. But you know what? We've effectively, you know, the selling price for Kate was a 5-2 for the Blue Boys, and you know, we talked her down to a Desmond 2-2. That's a pretty good talk down if you're on Craigslist trying to buy an automobile, and they're like 10,000. You're like 3,000, and they're like 5. Perfect, 5 deal. Got it half the price, so I like it. Jose, how much is the car going for you, my friend?
I will stick with what I said on Friday.
Oh wait, sorry. Go ahead, Jose. I did say Jim, and then I just went to you, Jose. So I'm flip flopping now, Kate. It's wearing off on me.
It's contagious.
I guess Jose, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just realized I said Jim, tell me your score, and then I'm gonna go to Jose, and then I babbled for a minute. I rambled like the guy said, and then
who do you want to go to, Jacob? Who do you want to go to, me or Jim?
Tactically, I wanted to do Jim,
Go,
but
Jim.
as
Go,
far as
Jim.
my courtesy goes, I feel bad that I cut you off.
No, go, Jim.
Jim, tactically, we're going to you, buddy.
I said on my predictions on, because we do predictions on our channel, I said 3-1, but now I've seen
The perfect match. Make sure you are subscribed, ladies and gentlemen.
Now I've seen the lineup, I'm going to go 4-1 Spurs.
Go on, Jimbo.
Yeah, get in there, Jimbo. I like that.
Oh, and Arsenal.
I like that
Arsenal
a lot.
only managed to draw as well, so that's good news.
They drew. It's over.
Yeah, they drew with Fulham. So Fulham, you know, they're not that bad after all.
Oh no, Fulham. Hey, bloody Fulham. They're so good. Oh, we should be beating them. Oh, it will be. Oh, yeah, it will be. Shout out to Adama Traore every single time. My goat. So Jim, you got a 4-1. Who's scoring the goals for you, buddy?
I'm going to have Solanke to score, Brennan Johnson to score, Son to score, and Kulu to score a screamer.
Woo!
Yes.
Hey, shout out Kulu, man. He's been our workhorse, our road dog, and he's actually called out the mentality of the players and the consistency as well, and said we have to be better. If we play good one week and bad the next, we are just stupid. So by his words, we have been stupid versus Bournemouth, and I hope that we are not stupid today. And Jose, you know what? Where are we at in the ocean, baby? How are we floating? Are we boat side up? Are we right side up? Or is it masted? Mast is up, baby. Where are we at?
I predicted on my show that we would win, and this is well before knowing any of this lineup whatsoever. A bit like Kate before knowing the.
Oh,
lineup.
you mean your show over there at El Tel Cocarel? Make sure you're liking and subscribing over there.
Possibly that one as well, yeah. And I predicted, right, a win, but I'm not going to say the score yet. I'm going to keep the same score, but seeing the lineup we've got today, and knowing how much I despise the others that we're playing against today, I would like it to be far more than what I'd predicted. But I've got to stay true to what I've said, and I predicted a 2-1 victory for Tottenham. And for me, I don't really do goal scorers. For me, it can be any two. I'd rather have 10 goal scorers.
Right? Who really cares in this match? I agree with you this time.
Care.
Normally, I like to get it from you, but it's like, who cares? Just get the goals.
I just want the 3 points. 1-0, 2-1, 15-1, 15-0, anything. I just want the win, the 3 points at the end of the day. So
I agree. I'll take a 1-0 too. I'll take it as well. 1-0. Talk to me nice. So I agree with you, Jose. I don't even care who scores today. It could be own goal. You know, they used to be our joint top goal scorer for a while last year. Own goal. Was he French? Or is that Polak? I don't know. But for me, ladies and gentlemen, actually, let me go through some of the chat real quick because I like to get y'all's predictions in here too. Honestly, the chat's been flying, so I have to scroll up quite substantially. I see Jordan in here with a 1-1. Boone saying, oh wait, maybe they're talking about the Arsenal game. I don't know.
Arsenal.
Bobby K's with it. There we go. Bobby K's got one. He's big up Bobby K every single time. Make sure you're subscribed to 3 Spurs Boys. He ain't here right now, and we don't know when he ever will be because he'll agree to be here, then he's not. He will not agree to be here, then he is here. Then he will agree to be here, and he is here. So it's just kind of, you know, whatever sandwich you want, he's eating them all. So big up Bobby K and the 3 Spurs Boys. It says 3-1 Spurs, Dominic Solanke, Cole Palmer, Van de Veen, and Son. I'll take it, baby. You're talking real nice. Checkmate says Spurs will slap them 3-1. Come on, Checkmate. Hey, you said check. We said checkmate. and then you tap the clock. Is that how it? I don't play regulation, but only online or in the club. Captain Alex, 2-0 Chelsea. That's not great, but it's your opinion. Insomniac says 3-0 Werner hat trick. Come on, you Spurs. Anyone think Werner come off of the bench on Kate's right? It's 2-2, 87-minute. Here comes Timo time, and the clock strikes Timo. And then what? Oh, and he gets to dunk on his old club. I mean, I did think Dominic would try to dunk on his old club, but c'est la vie, I suppose. 3-2 to the Tottenham Hotspur for Francie. Big up Francie, YouTube chat member. Paul Jones says 3-0 Chelsea. I don't like that one either. But that's okay. 1-1 is fine, says Boone. I think that's it. 1-1. See, that's the Arsenal. I shouldn't have tried to ask for score predictions right during the Arsenal score. Hamden says 3-2 Spurs. Adaris Facera says, I'm going for an end-to-end game 3-3. I could see that as well, honestly. Like Newcastle Liverpool the other week. Ruthless 123 says 2-2. A 2-2. Hey, I ain't talking ballerinas, but we're talking 2-2 indeed. Mattis Max says 3-1 Tottenham. Do like that. I can't remember our last 0-0. No, that doesn't happen. It's not going to be 0-0. If it is, put the bet on it now because you probably get some good money. Mud FC says 4-3 to the Chelsea. I don't like it. Alan says Tottenham 3-2 Chelsea. I like that. And Denzel says 3-2 Spurs. I do like that as well. Shoshi, big up Shoshi. Says 3-0. Al Jennings, Tottenham 0. For Chelsea. I don't like that one either. I've noticed there's a lot more score predictions in today's chat that I don't like. However, we've run out of time, so I will give you my score prediction. I've been saying all along, when anyone, whether good or bad for us, rival or fan, says it's going to be 6-1, 5-0, these absorbent, crazy scores, it never is. It never turns out to be. I understand why they think it might get that way, and I actually do think it could get that way. However, I'm going to try and see if I could get one prediction right this year so far. No, actually, I think I predicted all of our wins for us to win. I think I got one or two close enough anyway, horseshoes and grenades, so to speak. But I'm going to say like a 3-2, 2-1 Tottenham Hotspur, of course. But it's like I want it to be this big, crazy score line. I just think it might be like a 2-1, something a little bit more boring, a little bit more not as Wild West. But who knows what we'll get, because with Tottenham, the first half we may play one way, and the second half we may play another. So for good or worse, we could come out bad and then be really good and end the game well. Timo time, game winner. Hoping, manifesting.
Spurs, Jacob. It's going to be fireworks.
Yeah, red cards.
Yeah, there's going to be violence. There's going to be violence. I just hope, all these players that have failed Ainge versus the second half versus Brighton versus Crystal Palace versus Ipswich versus Bournemouth, and you could even argue the draws versus Fulham, Leicester, etc. But those losses I'm looking at specifically, the players that let down this manager, I think today is the day that you are taken to the principal's office. So the way I want to end the show is everyone go to the principal's office for spanking time. Everyone's getting spanked tonight, and especially Chelsea, because Tottenham Hotspur, we will rise again. And Ainge, I trust, but first and foremost, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Up the lads. And shall we all say, come on, you Spurs?
Come on,
yeah.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.